What is up, podheads? Back with another episode of the Podioslave podcast, and we are born with no soul, lack of control, cut from the mold of the antisocial. How you boys doing?
Spit it out, man. How we doing?
Dude,
Just fucking.
rocking the mic with a voice that's raspy.
Yep.
Shit.
Yep, Mr. Dick if you're nasty. Yep,
Oh,
that's,
boy.
that's me. That's what people call me. Yep.
Nasty.
That spoke to 15-year-old me. I don't know about you guys, but
15 and 40.
I'm joined by Anthony and Nate.
At the same time, no one knows who's who.
Yep. Who are you? Which one are you?
I'm Anthony.
Oh, okay.
Nate here.
Oh, Nate's here.
I swear we've been doing this for 5 years. I promise.
Yeah, this is I deviated from the start, and now it's all fucked up. Okay, but yeah, we're gonna talk Papa Roach's Infest tonight. But I think, Anthony, you had something that you wanted to start us off with, right?
Yeah, and it's still Papa Roach, so it fits. So like we said, we're gonna do this deep dive tonight. Oftentimes we start with early memories of the band or record that we're talking about. So this feeds into that, and it's a chance for listener land to play along and do a little guessing game. So the first time that I saw Papa Roach was in Portland, Maine.
Me too.
Nice. It was an offshoot of the Ozfest, the Day Off Fest, they called it.
I didn't
Civic
go to
Center.
that. God damn it.
Rubbing it in. It was August 2001. So this was after Infest was popping off. But the lineup, you guys remember the lineup?
Yeah, it was like Linkin Park, right? Was Linkin Park at that? Was Slipknot at that?
No, I think
That was
they were supposed to, and then Papa Roach filled in.
Okay. Filter? That was a different year too, wasn't it?
No, different gig.
Fuck. Who else is at that, Nate? Who else is at that show? You probably went to it too.
I wasn't there, but Disturbed.
Disturbed?
Yeah.
So we got Papa Roach, Linkin Park, Disturbed, and two more.
Mudvayne.
Mudvayne?
Mm-hmm. No One. Band No One.
No one was not. It was nowhere to be found. They were
Mushroom
Not-
Head?
no. Drowning Pool.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yep.
yep.
Makes sense.
So where I'm going with this is, like, these a lot of those bands that we just mentioned that are on this gig are still popping off, which is crazy. And if you have opinions on if they should or shouldn't be, then have at it. But that's not what I'm here for. What I thought might be fun is, let's guess the monthly listeners on Spotify for these. I mean, I know them, so I'm not going to partake, but listener land and you guys. And we're talking, for rounding up purposes, 25 years out from when these bands were all popping off. They all had, Papa Roach was on Infest, Linkin Park had Hybrid, Disturbed had The Sickness, Mudvayne had LD50, and Drowning Pool had the Sinner album. Like, those were could be all their peak albums. They were massive, but a lot of these bands, most of those bands are still popping off. But what do you think? We'll start with Disturbed. How many monthlies does Disturbed have 25 years out from this gig?
So I have to put the music under this. So it's a game. So we're putting the music under this. I'll do that in post. Man, okay. Disturbed today has 7 million monthly listeners.
Okay. Nate, where you at?
I'm gonna go lower. I'm gonna go 5 million. Disturbed.
Do you want me to play higher or lower, or do you want me to just tell you? Keep it moving.
Just tell us. Keep it moving.
19 million.
Jesus.
Wow.
19 million. So
Wow.
for context, Deftones is having the pop-off moment of their lives. They're at what? 17 or?
Yeah, something like that.
So even at that spike where they're playing these arenas, Disturbed, probably from like The Sickness and all that stuff, 19 million. So that was shocking. The next one, Mudvayne. In 2025, how many monthlies?
All right. Mudvayne is. They just announced something too. Man, that's gonna be lower, right? It's not the level of Disturbed.
Gotta be lower. 10 million.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stick with 7.
2.3 million.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking almost a tenth of Disturbed. This is fascinating to me. I don't know, listener land, you're like, did you know this, or are you as blown away as I am? Drowning Pool. Where do you think they're at?
Bodies probably gives them a decent bump.
Right?
1.9 million monthly listeners.
I was gonna go pretty low too. I'm gonna go.
That's not even low. It's a big number.
It's a big number, but in
Huge
comparison, you're thinking not the original lineup, stuff like that. I'm gonna go 1 million.
5.8.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
5.8 to this day. Insane. We'll do Linkin Park and then we'll finish on Papa Roach. Linkin Park.
27 million. That's a big number.
Monster number.
30 million.
51.6.
No way.
So you know what that tells me?
That's a lot. That's a lot of numbers.
People, there's a crop that's into the new wave of music, like that. The new singer is Emily.
Yep.
There must be a camp that still rides for that stuff, because I don't think you're getting 50 from the legacy folks. Just the legacy.
It'd be hard, yeah. But they have so many eras of legacy. Linkin Park does, and they were popular for a very long time, and that's probably. But that's a lot of. That's a big number. So.
And so we're going to land us on Papa Roach, who we're talking about tonight. And this is kind of the impetus for this whole exercise, which was this band. If you told me they had this amount of monthly listeners 25 years later, well, I wouldn't even know what Spotify was back then. But if you told me that on this digital streaming platform 25 years later, when the internet's popping, they're going to have this many listeners, I'd be like, holy shit. Like they must have stayed big time relevant. So that's a little teaser. How many do you think?
And they're massive right now. They're the biggest they've ever been right now. So that's probably in the 33 million.
Yeah, they're having a moment similar to Deftones. What did you say? 33, Tone?
Yep.
That's pretty solid. I'm gonna go 40 million.
Little steep, 14.3, which I thought was high, because I'm sure we'll get into it, but there's a core like us that got into them during Infest and maybe stuck around for a few albums, then petered off. But then, like you said, they're probably the biggest they've ever been. Like
they're massive right now.
Headlining the Bangor venue with, I think, Rise Against an Under Oath or something. Like that's an eclectic mix, and that's a huge fucking venue.
Yeah, I would agree. It's insane that they're where they are as a band, when they started in 93, and then they put this out in 2000, put Infest out in 2000, and what they are today compared to what they were then, and to be that big, 30 plus years as a band is, I mean, good for them. I'm happy. We can talk about their legacy at the end, but I'm happy for them to be that relevant still. It's hard to do, man. Really hard to do.
You could argue out of those 5 bands, they've navigated the industry maybe the best. Think about it.
Good point. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's a fun exercise.
And Linkin Park not lost Chester, it would be maybe a different story.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to jump into the record. Let's jump into the record here. Do we want to do like we usually do? We start with our early memories, because I would imagine it all starts with TRL for the 3 of us.
Yeah, TRL last resort. I mean, I don't know if it was TRL, but it was last resort 100%.
Yeah, it was TRL. It was it being on there, and we've talked TRL in the past with maybe it was Korn or Linkin Park or a different Blink, different eras of music, that this was the driver for the youth at that time, right? And we're 15 years old, 14, 15 years old when this dropped, and Last Resort was like up against NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears and shit, right? So we got, there was some rock on there, and then we had that too, and who knows how accurate any of those requests lives were, but they were the tastemaker for our generation at that time, right?
And honestly, I haven't thought about that in a long time, but now that we're talking about it, this generation must look back at that and be like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like MTV was your tastemaker. And it's like, well, yeah. I mean, at that point, the internet was not what it was. You had Napster, so you could branch out. Like you could dabble with other stuff. You had friends, older brothers, sisters, but for a lot of people, it was cutting edge. You would get, like, I remember that's where I found out about Eminem. My Name Is in 99. Yeah. You know what I mean? And MTV had You Hear It First.
Yeah. Yeah.
You hear it, and they had a little expose at, what is it? 10 to the hour every hour. MTV News. They do it.
Yeah.
And
they would premiere videos on TRL too. So like if they weren't in the countdown yet, they used that as a vehicle. Record companies use that as a vehicle to premiere whatever they had for the next flavor and try to get it onto that countdown. And I'm sure at some point Papa Roach was that too. But that song was up there, right? We all saw the video. Everybody knows Last Resort. Like, that is absolutely, it is such an iconic nu metal song at this point. And just song in general, like it's so well known by so many different people who maybe weren't into Papa Roach or this record even.
Yeah, I feel like the TRL, our Total Request Live, if we're gonna spell it out for people that may not know, that was like a full circle moment for our generation, because we, our friend Rob, like MTV kind of came out in the 80s, right? And then it was the first time you had like a visual of like the music and the artist and like the storyline that wasn't just like something on the radio. So for us, that was like, oh, like this is what this band looks like. This is what the optics are all about. This is the tours they're on. It gave you like more of a tangible feel for the vibe, or I don't know what the music's supposed to represent in a visual sense. So TRL or Total Request Live, like that was awesome. The only maybe exception to that would be like Circus and Hit Parader magazine, and in my case Kerrang magazine, where you kind of like got a little bit more drink a little more information on these bands that were on the come up. But yeah, MTV TRL was for sure for me too. But I didn't even have MTV, so I was seeing it at friends' houses and whatnot. But
yeah.
Well, it almost felt like a sports team where, like, you could have Circus and those in Kerrang for the elite, but it was almost like a baseball card. It was just like, I see a picture of this person, but then like TRL was, unless you saw them live in person, but TRL was like kind of going to see them live, and you rooted for your team.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hell yeah.
But two observations about Last Resort, because we're talking about it. I was thinking about this. I thought Jacoby had an accent when that song came out. Cut my life into pieces. Like the first time I heard it, I was like, where are these guys from?
California.
Did you guys have that, or am I just a weirdo?
I think it was just an enunciation thing. I don't remember thinking he had an accent or anything like that. It was that. It's funny though. The other give me your other observation, then I have one.
I have a misheard lyric, so I don't want to step on your toes if that's what you had.
Nope.
Okay, misheard lyric was would it be wrong, would it be right if I took my life tonight? I always thought he said chances are dynamite.
Dude, me too.
Yeah,
always.
It's chances are that I might.
Yeah. As of this week, I was sure that was it. Yeah.
So I think I saw a reel on Instagram or something recently of that, and I was like, huh? It's not dynamite?
There are a lot of good reels out there of misheard lyrics, ours included. But there's a bunch back there.
But again, like, why? I can't remember. Did the CD booklet have lyrics? I don't remember. But other than that, how would we know the lyrics? Like, I'm sure they were online, but
right. Yeah.
Some guys GeoCities, like, could you even rely on that?
GeoCities.
Ask Jeeves what the lyrics are.
Yeah. Hey, Jeeves, can you tell me what the lyrics of Last Resort by Papa Roach are?
Ask Jeeves where his fucking website is nowadays.
Ask Jeeves, the original AI. Man.
Oh man. Off the rails, baby. My observation, and it's not my observation because Greg said it to us on an episode. the great Greg Bergdorf, who we've had on, I don't know how many times now, 7, 8, said it's the riff is just Brain Stew, but with like a helicopter riff over it. Like, listen to it. It's absolutely the same musically band as Brain Stew by Green Day. So shout out to those guys.
So I got to ask you guys, like, we all heard it from that era. What did you think? Like, I thought the song was cool. I thought it was an anthem. I thought I was into it. Like, we were all fans, right? We were big into it.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the video, it was a perfect introduction to the song and the visuals that go with the song. It's I think that the video is like at a live show, right? Is there part?
Kind of like
a
stage. It's a stage. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, instant banger. Draws you in, that riff, obviously. And speaking of like that accent, like that caught me off guard too, but it's weird because it's almost specific to that song. There's like a little production magic just on that one song. So when you listen to the record, it's like, oh, it's just that. And it's funny you say, did he have an accent? Because they are from Vacaville, which is near Sacramento and Northern California.
Is it Vacaville or is it Vacaville?
I think it's Vacaville.
Yeah, didn't you live in California, you fucking poser?
SoCal.
Come on, bro.
Vacaville.
Isn't it Pay Roach?
Pee Roach.
Oh man, yeah. But they're from California, yes.
From NorCal. Well, I was gonna say, like, there is a Northern California accent. So like if you hear Kobe or any of the guys talk, at least the original members, like they have the Northern California accent, but it's not that. So that is just straight up some kind of weird production magic, I guess.
Yeah. And like there's the beginning of Infest, he's like screaming through some distortion, and he's got a little bit of an accent there too, if you think about it. So yeah, I think it's the beginning of the record. They're doing
Papa Roach, sound fire.
Yeah, like it's just there, and you know it's what they were. And honestly, I think they only did that. He only did that, and they only did this type of record and music once, right? It was this album, and then they kind of changed. They changed sound a little bit after this. So,
what type of music is that?
New metal.
Yeah.
This is straight up rap rock, right?
100%. But I don't think they sound like the big dogs at the time.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Like new
Mhm.
metal was a blanket. Imagine if you were like a fringe new metal band, because now, maybe not now, but it used to be like a swear word, right? If you were a fringe new metal band and you got the new metal tag, you were like, it's so broad. Like, how could you possibly pin me there?
Yeah, new metal welcomes all comers. I mean, we did we did Cold earlier this year, and that record had different vibes on it too, but also is under the new metal umbrella, right? So they welcomed all comers. They had rap rock, they had goth stuff, they had industrial stuff, they had straight up hip hop with guitars. Like, we'll take you. That's the new metal. That's just what they do. They're in for all of it.
There is some scratches on this album too.
Yeah. It's like post grunge. Like anything fits in the post grunge because grunge was whatever, and then post grunge is like anything that even has a slight guitar riff adjacent to grunge music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, post grunge, everything is post grunge, right? Because that happened in
after
the
grunge.
early '90s. We're post grunge.
The whole new metal thing, the spelling didn't do it just like it. I think that didn't help it. But what else would you have called it? Like if it wasn't called like hair metal, 100% makes sense. Big hair metal. Grunge, I don't know where that came from, but if new metal wasn't new metal, like what would it call?
I don't know. It's a good question. We'd have to
Listener
think
land,
about
figure it out for us.
Yeah, that's the unanswerable question of tonight's episode is what would new metal be called if we couldn't call it new metal?
It would be like
Rap rock.
new industrial post grunge hybrid.
It's everything. Yeah, it's
Or
hybrid theory
core
is what it is. Yeah.
It's hybrid theory.
Hybrid metal.
But yeah, Last Resort was obviously massive. Still is 1.4 billion streams on Spotify. Like
Holy
everybody,
shit.
if you've, I saw something on the internet fairly recently where it was like those videos where they're like, so and so hears this song for the first time, and then they like play drums over it. And I think it was John Stamos playing over Last Resort, and like he'd never heard it before. And I was like, that's fucking bullshit. He's definitely heard the song. Everybody's heard the song. It's been around 25 years. But he, did his own drumming flair over it. But that those things piss me off. But that's a different story for a different day.
No, it's not though,
because
you had a great comment on the post.
Yeah, I said I've never heard of Full House. Yeah,
Yeah,
never, not once.
I've never heard of.
Sorry, who is John Stamos? I don't know who the fuck this guy is on my screen.
There is not a chance in hell that dude has never heard Last Resort. I mean, yeah. Anyway,
Happy Birthday? There's a song? What are you talking about? All right, I'm done ripping on Stamos.
hey, I got a confession. I've
the
never
internet.
heard Last Resort. I'm a poser. I just made up all that earlier.
Yeah, I don't believe you because I think I burned this record off of you. So
I do have a burnt copy.
He never
Yeah.
listened to it. He just had it,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just I found it.
I didn't take away from not buying it. Like I didn't take away. I never listened to it anyway. But
Right.
so we were big into it. New metal's popping off. Kind of hit on that. But yeah, like Korn, Limp Bizkit, they were all on TRL at this time. Korn had Follow Leader 98.
Yeah.
And I think Issues was probably out at this time.
Yeah,
Sympathy
Freak on a
and
Leash
Other
was a big
out.
TRL video and a great video, period. And Limp Bizkit was all over it with And Together Now and Break Stuff and Rearranged and Nookie, and they were all over it too. So new metal was obviously king at the time and has had its resurgence, as we've documented very many times over the course of nearly 300 episodes. But Papa Roach was there early for the renaissance of the start of new metal. Being in the mainstream, and they were a big piece of it with Last Resort, and then going forward.
But yeah, I mean they were part of that kind of guitar music renaissance. You want to talk the album? Let's talk the album.
Yeah.
Throw some tracks, observations, whatever you got. You guys got anything burning?
Last Resort was the first single, which came out like 6 weeks before the record dropped, and then we got a few other singles, but they were much later after the record dropped, which was interesting to me. Like Last Resort lived as the only single for almost a year.
Oh, I did not know that.
Crazy.
Yeah, just looking at it right now, Broken Home was the second single, and that was January of 2001. Like, long time in between singles. That's usually you get a single before. In this time frame, you get a single 6 weeks out to prime you for the record, and then one like right as the record's dropping to kind of lift you up and go buy it.
Wait, when was that? When was the first single?
March
Resort
7th, 2000 was Last Resort.
So it was a spring release. Okay.
Yeah, and the record came out April 25th of 2000. So about 6 weeks in between the first single and the record drop. But then maybe the song was so big they were like, let's just ride it out as long as we can. Like people are still buying the record. Like why do we need to give another boost to it when it's doing well? Is my guess. And then they, as it started to peter off, they're like, all right, here's Broken Home. All right, here's Between Angel and Insects. Just to do that. But that's my semi-informed view on that.
I think you're spot on because I don't think so. This was on DreamWorks. This was major label debut. I don't think they could have ever predicted the success of Last Resort. And I think maybe we were mentioning that earlier. Their first album was Old Friends from Young Years. If you ever listen to that, it's on YouTube. It's very raw. And like I listened to it today, there's no clear single. Like you can tell it's them. Like you can tell it's Jacoby, but completely different vibe. I don't know.
Did he have an accent?
I don't remember. I mean, you can tell it's that northern Vacayville.
Vacationville. I thought that's where we lived.
Well, like I don't know what they saw. I think it was kind of a feeding frenzy at the time. But even still, even if they knew they had something with Papa Roach, I don't think they knew they had anything with Last Resort. So my guess is you're right. They rode this cash cow for a year. You're right. It's pretty much a year.
Yeah, it's a good assessment actually because I don't think they planned that far ahead. I think they dropped the single. They're trying to plan a tour at that point. Like, are you the support? Are you doing a club run headline? Are you gonna what are we doing here? You don't know. And a lot of it's based on, or at least then I would assume it was based on the success of the single to even know where to place you in the, whatever offer you're going to take, or are you going to peter out, like you said? But that first single was such a banger. It did so well. They probably were like, yeah, let's just ride this out. And 01, we'll start dropping new singles and going from there. But
yeah, get more people on it after it starts to slow down. And actually, we can confirm more than likely that they didn't know it was going to blow up the way it did because they were out on tour with Taproot. Phil told us, and they went from riding in a van to here's this massive tour bus. They're now the big band on that bill, even though they were opening for Taproot at the time, which is nuts.
Well, and here's another thing to double down on that. They were on Warped Tour 2000.
Oh yeah.
If they were peak success of Last Resort level, they would not have been on Warped Tour. No,
good point. Yeah. But yeah, it's always fun to dig into these things and think about why it happened. And, maybe someday Kobe will come on with us and tell us the real story. But I know Nate, I was telling Anthony before we popped on that they did an interview in town with Rob, probably 15 years ago. That was like an hour. They spent an hour. We listened to it at his house not that long ago. Yep. You and me and Rob, and they just seemed like so much fun. And I would imagine in this era, they were that much fun plus all the energy of the the live show and the backstage shenanigans and some of the stories that we've heard that maybe we won't tell, but they're out there in the back catalog if you could find them, that type of stuff. But yeah, they were full of energy.
Yeah, I actually did meet them on this tour run, but I think it was 01 actually, so it was this headlining tour. We'll probably get into this later, but yeah, I met the band backstage at the Orpheum Theater in Boston. They were super cool, but it was right in the thick of it too. Like you said, like high energy. Kobe's always been like a high energy guy in general, like obviously stage presence, but in any interview with him, he's just like a hyper dude. So I don't think that's changed. But back then, like you said, 2000, 2001, like imagine just getting quasi overnight success. It's just like, holy shit, we're riding it. We're going to ride this wave. And here we are.
Yeah. I think I'm assuming it was TRL, but I'm thinking back to like them on TV in Jacoby just being kind of a spaz, and some of it could have been, posturing and performative, but read the lyrics. It comes from a real place with these guys. And I think a theme throughout their whole career is that you look even the later albums.
Yep. Totally agree.
But that was like what drew you in. Like it was a product and it was presented to you, but it was also genuine too. At least that's how I interpreted it with them. And a lot of it was him. Like he was the front man. Think of most bands from this era that have lasted. They had a great front man. They had a character.
Yeah, that's where I was going next. That's exactly where I was going next. Is he is a perfect front man for this band and perfect for them to blow up. He was, gregarious in interviews. He was full energy, wild on stage. I mean, the one time I saw him in Portland on the Love Hate Tragedy tour, just crazy, and in a good way. Like, there's nothing bad. It was just all kinds of fun energy. And I remember somebody, and weed is legal in Maine now, but it was not legal in Maine in 2003 or whatever. And somebody chucked it. He was standing on top of one of the speaker risers, and somebody chucked a joint at him, and he just threw it in his mouth and was dancing around and like going ham. And we're just like, this is amazing. I'm 19 years old. This is fucking awesome. I love this band, and I loved that record too. But yeah, just a great frontman, like all time.
To that point, there's I mean, I can't dial up exactly what videos, but I think I've sent them to you guys from 2000 Papa Roach on the Infest tour, where like when you're talking about like the lyrics and the delivery of the lyrics from Kobe and the authenticity of it, like there's some YouTube videos out there where they're on that 2000 run, even before the '01 run, maybe when they were still kind of figuring out how they were going to be a live band, like that Zach De La Roca, like his eyes, like Kobe's eyes when he's singing the song, it's like it's coming from like a really, really dark place and he's getting it out. Like it's like therapeutic, but he's getting it out and it's almost a little like scary. And you're like, oh fuck, this song, Angels and Insects or Broken Home or whatever. Like, he's not fucking around. Like this is unfortunately like a real life admission, So I can say that that's as real as it gets when you see that stuff as a fan. You're like, you're there for entertainment, but at the end of the day, you're identifying with the music, whether you can relate or not. So I think it again, the music hits different when you see something like that firsthand.
Well, I think it's on YouTube. There's a video, it might be from Boston in this era where doesn't he like kick a hole in the stage? There's something with
that would not shock me. I haven't seen it, but that wouldn't shock.
Hey, Jamie, fire this shit up, man. Let's not wait. We're talking about it, dude. Let's go.
There's one where he's hitting his forehead with the microphone. He like bleeds. There's something like that's happening.
It might be the same thing. There's something with the state. I don't know. It's just crazy. And that one note that I had in prep for this is they were a punk band disguised as a nu metal band.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, the live show, everything we just said, like it's raw, it's chaos, it's for show, not for show in that way, but it's a spectacle.
Yeah.
They were on Warped Tour. The lyrical themes, I mean, between Angels and Insects, like, I mean, that could be a punk song. The lyrics could be a punk song, and there's more of that sprinkled throughout. And that honestly didn't hit me until like this week when we said we're going to do this. Like, and I think they have punk roots too. I think if you dial it back, just, the kind of the scenes that they played in and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just crazy. And then look at where they've come and, who they've worked with, since then. It's like, wow, they've come a long way, still stayed relevant the whole way. So you got to tip it to them.
And I agree with you. And I hadn't even thought of that. The punk band aspect. That's exactly it. They had that authenticity, that ethos of like, we are coming in here. We're a hurricane. We're gonna show up. We're just gonna rip through this place. You're gonna be so stoked that it happened, and then, we're on to the next place and do it again. Like, absolutely, like that fast, heavy themes are out there, and the songs that are similar to, the punk ethos. Absolutely, I'm right there with you. I hadn't thought of that at all. So that's a good point. Nu metal, man, bringing people under the umbrella. Drink.
Let's go. Yeah. So that was just an observation. What do you guys think when the second single Broken Home came out? Because that was a completely different sound, vibe. Was there rapping on that?
Yeah, there's a breakdown.
Yep.
Okay. A different vibe overall.
Yeah, I liked Last Resort more in the moment. I understood. I didn't come from a broken home. My parents were divorced, so I had two homes. I had two great homes, but two homes at that time. So like, I hadn't heard a lot of people singing about stuff like that I'd paid attention to. I'm sure it was there. I know it was out there because I've listened to it since, but at the moment had not really been exposed to that in a popular song. So it made you think a little bit. And 16-year-old me is like, man, he's not just this fun, this stuff behind all of this that has led to this point, and he'd given it to you, putting it out there, which is that authenticity piece again, right?
Yeah, the storyline right from the beginning, right from the jump of the song is like kind of, I mean, there's really no doubting what he's trying to say. So it definitely brings you in. And, given what you said, Juan, about like the difference between Last Resort and Broken Home, like that shift really made me think like it's, Last Resort's kind of a standalone track when you think about it. Like the record is pretty diverse, but Infest is like really a standout track because Broken Home is on par with a lot of these tracks on here where they kind of flow together. Not that Last Resort doesn't, but it's, I don't know, maybe it was just maybe it's an overplayed
Very
thing.
much the single. Very much the
Yeah,
single.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting to. Very much the single. But I remember just listening to lyrics and just like it was just a new metal theme, right? Like Stained had songs about like dysfunctional family stuff like that too. And again, I'm happy to say like I came from a family that was pretty put together, so I didn't identify with it on that level, but it still shed light on the authenticity of like, wow, like this is, you know, similar to what we were talking about earlier with like grunge music. These are lyrics that are being put down on paper for a reason, and I don't want to say it's exciting to see that, but it's like a good movie. I think
It was eye opening. It was eye opening
it's
at that
eye-opening.
age. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I've never seen things in this lens before. But that song and the video's great. All the videos for this band have been fantastic. So it was really well done. And again, back to the MTV thing, like you get the full visceral experience on the band, the song, the optics, the personalities, and the storyline.
Well, I think with Last Resort, the song overshadowed the message of it. You know what I mean? Where Broken Home, I think the message and the song were on the same level. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people, if you look at the lyrics to Last Resort, it's not very happy. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of lost in a lot of it just because of how big of an anthem it is. But yeah, I would put like the title track, the opener, and Last Resort kind of in, you know, rap metal, new metal, but then Broken Home isn't. And a lot of the rest of the album isn't. I mean, there's pockets of it, but there's depth here that unless you really listen to it, I don't think you would expect. Like there's tracks that have melodies and harmonies to it and he can sing, and it's not all rapping about, you know, Mr. Dick if you're nasty, you know what I mean?
Right. But that works too.
I mean, I'm here for all, like you said, at 15, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah. But you're right. There's some different, I mean, they've been around as a band for almost a decade at that point. So they had kind of honed some of that craft and honed some of that songwriting ability into, we can do a couple of different things here, and we're going to fit under the new metal umbrella, but we can do the rap rock thing, we can do the big single, we can do the deep song, we can do the anti-dollar song with Between Angels and Insects, right? And it all kind of works on this record. And I hadn't listened to it in a long time prior to getting ready to talk about it, but I found myself remembering all of it, and I was like, I don't need to listen to this 15 times because I know all of it. Like I listened to it so many times growing up and into my 20s, and they're a band that I stuck with for a while. I don't know as much of the newer stuff. I know, you know, some of the bigger songs of the newer stuff, but I don't know much of the newer stuff, like full records and stuff. But I know like people still ride hard for them, and it's because they've always been able to put together really well-crafted songs, and this is the first glimpse of that, you know, on a national stage.
Other observations, side B fucking rips. Side B, I don't know if I'm going to say it's better than side A, but it gives it a run for its money. So I'm guessing side B would start at Blood Brothers or Revenge. And so Blood Brothers is great. Revenge, Snakes, Never Enough, Binge, and Thrown Away. And then you get the hidden track in Tightrope. And then Legacy is on streaming. I don't remember that song at all. Was that a bonus thing?
Yeah, I don't think that was on the regular. Yeah.
I heard that today. I was like, never heard this. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, my Napster version didn't have this.
Yeah. Because it ruined my last track magic with Tightrope, and Tightrope being a secret song ruins the last track magic thing too. But I'm right there with you. The side B rips. I wish Between Angels and Insects was in side B because it would make it a perfect side B.
But, oh yeah, true.
Because that's probably it's probably a top 3 Papa Roach song for me, if not my favorite. I did love Dead Cell. I don't know. You guys ever play Sean Palmer's Pro Snowboarder?
Yep.
Yeah,
that first level, man. A Dead Cell pops on or Shooty Screw pops on, and you're just ripping down the mountain. But Dead Cell was always like, yes, this is fucking. You just go as fast as you can straight down, and it's. I remember that being a blast, and that game being like the most new metal soundtrack game of all time. I think if you go back and look, there's a lot of rap rock on there, and it's all like Spineshanks on there, Shooty Screw I mentioned, Papa Roach, really cool. That I felt very seen, even though I don't snowboard. I didn't ski till I was 26, but I felt very seen playing a video game with a new metal soundtrack at 16 years old.
Were you a Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 guy with Blood Brothers?
I love all the Tony Hawks. I'm into all the Tony Hawks. I'm with you.
And that was, I think, to be honest, that was probably a lot of people's Papa Roach exposure. If you didn't hear, I don't know how you didn't, but if you
Great
didn't
riff,
hear
too.
Last Resort, Blood Brothers, great song, great song. And again, another, heavy lyric song, and same thing with Revenge and Snakes. That's one thing that I guess I'm just thinking about this now, like this genre was kind of notorious for these like edgy lyrics, but even at 15, a lot of it wasn't believable. A lot of it was performative. I don't think I never really came across like that for these guys. I mean, on Last Resort, yes, with the I can't go on living this way, you know what I mean? And that kind of whispering, it's performative, but most of this album, I believe every word of it.
The whispering is something though, and that's a very new metal thing too.
Very much so.
God, good point. And the side B thing is, I'm looking at the track listing now. It's like because of the first half all became singles, it actually makes sense in retrospect. So when you listen to it, you almost like look forward to the back half because they're not singles and they're just like killer tracks, like you said, Blood Brothers into Revenge and Snakes, even Never Enough. And then Binge is kind of just again, couldn't relate, even though I used to drink, full disclosure, in high school. Not to that level. But...
No, yeah, you were never on a binge. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was always a cool anthem. Like, oh, this is what shit, you're an alcoholic. Fuck.
Yeah, behave, Nate. Behave.
Yeah. And then Thrown Away. And dude, the hidden track, we're talking about tracks. Tightrope,
man. Tightrope is all time.
Yeah, it really is just a jam. And I remember, I'm going to go on a tangent on this one. I remember talking to the band. It was that same interview actually with Rob, the hour when they weren't on air. I would just geek out with the band. Like, dude, I saw you guys at the Orpheum. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen. And I remember you guys played Tightrope. You guys going to bring that back tonight? This was when they were supposed to open for the Guns N' Roses show in Portland that got canceled like an hour before doors.
That was that night? Okay, yeah. Because we were supposed to go to that GNR show and Axel couldn't drink on stage, so the show got canceled.
Yeah. An hour before doors. Yeah, that's, for anyone that works in the industry, that's fucking bullshit.
Oh, we were so bummed. We were like out to dinner getting ready to go to the show, and it's like, oh, it's not happening. Like, what?
Well, imagine everyone that's there setting up the show, and they're just like, they now have to break down the show. You don't know, get a break. But anyways, I digress.
Last thing on that. Papa Roach couldn't play the Civic Center anymore. They're too big.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Fuck. But back to the Tightrope. I remember saying, yeah, you guys should play. You think you'll pull it out? You think you'll pull it out? It's like, dude, what's funny is Dave, who's no longer in the band, the drummer. This isn't why he's not, but he's like, he's always telling us we should play that. And like, I kind of agree, but like for some reason as a band, we can't agree to play it. I'm like, fuck, man, it's such a dope track. And I think it just comes down to like, you can only play so many songs. So like, you want to play the songs people know maybe. But I remember that being tossed around a lot to like, should we pull it out on this tour? Should we pull it on this tour? Like only so many people know it. A lot of people might not know about it at all because it's a hidden track.
Especially at this point. Yeah. Especially at this point. I love that song. That's another top three. So there's two of my top three Papa Roach songs are on this record. Right there. Tightrope and Between Angels and Insects. Tightrope is so good. It's Last Track Magic, even though it's a secret song added to Thrown Away, et cetera, whatever. It's a great way to wrap the record up. And it shows that they can do that too. And they hadn't really done that to that point on the record. So it gives you a little bit more of what's to come from them.
Well, I noticed on Spotify, they do the Thrown Away / Tightrope. So like the hidden track, like the art of the hidden track, the lore of the hidden track, it's over.
It's dead, man. It's been dead for years.
It's dead cell, baby. It's fucking dead cell.
If we could find a way to bring it back, though, we should put our heads together. Future Music, Volume 3.
You want to talk Between Angels and Insects?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because that was always my favorite song on this album. And there's some that are close. Like I love Binge, Never Enough, Broken Home is great. But that was again kind of another departure. And that was single 3. And that had the whole Fight Club anti-materialism theme.
Yeah.
And the video had some CGI going with the roaches coming out of Jacoby's mouth.
Oh yeah.
Right?
That part's so cool. Yeah.
But like that's a band that like that's a message that I don't at this stage like doesn't help you. Like that's them pushing that to the forefront, which a lot of, I mean, think of the non-nu metal bands on TRL, the themes of that stuff. It was not this. Like they overcame like heavy riffs and an objectively terrible name with a guy who's frontman, his name's Kobe Dick, like yeah. And it still hit. Like what?
That song is so fucking good. And you're right, they're like in the throes when by the time that's released as a single, they're in the throes of becoming a massive band. Like they're huge at this point. And they're like, fuck these possessions, fuck your obsession. I don't need that shit. Like, what? And they wrote that obviously before they knew they were gonna get big, but it's such a fucking good look at the world. Like it's so crazy that all of that, you're right, all of TRL, all of that was to make money, right? To get people to record store to buy the records and to get people to watch the TV shows and buy the products in the commercials. And we get this song as a single, and it's crazy. I think that it was even released as a single. Like that's nuts to me.
Yeah, it's very, very much so a Rage Against the Machine moment, like on a major label telling you not to watch Godzilla on the soundtrack type
Pure
vibe.
motherfucking filler. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, good point. I think it might be my favorite track on the record. But I remember thinking like the lyrics back then, like I'm too young to understand what he's talking about because I'm 15, 16-year-old. Like, you know, I am what is being marketed to, but
Yep.
ultimately ahead of its time, back to that Rage Against the Machine thing, like I'm reading the lyrics like, yeah, that shit doesn't matter, right? Like, why should it matter? Why am I going to Abercrombie and Fitch right now? Fuck that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, you switched up on us that year. You were an Abercrombie, bro, and then the next day you're at Hot Topic.
And I Deftones Windbreaker, yeah.
Take
Yeah.
your money, burn it up like an asteroid. Possessions, they're never going to fill the void. Take it away, learn the best lesson, the heart, the soul, the life, the passion. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Dude,
Let's
so
go.
good.
Yeah, I mean, again, another like you could never point to these guys being an industry plant because they wrote songs like this on their major label debut, right?
Yeah,
They've been
100%.
around 7 years, 8 years, whatever, and they were able to put together songs that have that kind of meaning and depth to them. This being another one of the many that we've talked about already.
Well, let's double down on that. I did some research, and the album after this, Love, Hate, Tragedy, the lead single was She Loves Me Not, right? That was written in
Yeah.
this
Crazy. I didn't know that till today.
in this recording session.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was on the demo and it just got saved as the lead single for Love, Hate, Tragedy. Yeah, I didn't know that till today.
Yeah, I didn't know until today. Like you would think, honestly, think about it. You would think that this band that blew up from this album, you'd think that maybe like Scars would have come, right? No,
yeah.
they held out for another album, Love,
Hmm.
Hate, Tragedy, because that was, you could say that was, I don't know, more garagey and more raw in some
I
aspects,
know.
right?
They cover the Pixies, like yeah, it's just so. And there's the punk band aspect of them again too, a little bit, right? They're covering the Pixies. There's some punk to pick the Pixies too.
dude, the
Especially
Gadget
that
cover
song.
is sick.
Yeah. That record's great. We could do Love, Hate, Tragedy another time. Another terrible album cover though, and that's been mentioned before.
Well,
on
that's
this-
punk as fuck. If you're
It's
moving
true.
units, you don't
Yeah.
put that on the cover.
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
If you're moving units, you change your name from Papa Roach to something else. You know, like
yeah. It's kind of amazing they're as big as they are with all these things that just kind of fly in the face of commercial music success, right?
100%.
Okay. Any other observations about songs in particular? Do you want to hit Legacy? I'm ready for Legacy if you guys are.
Let's go Legacy because yeah. If you're ready, let it rip.
Yeah, this band, it's amazing what they've been able to accomplish with, like we just said, of all the things that they've done, all the choices they've made, they've been super authentic to them. Did they lose me along the way in spots? Absolutely. Do I still come back to some of the records, even like later in the catalog that I dug when they came out? Absolutely. Like that band is them. They're Papa Roach. There's nobody like them. And I think, we get the first glimpse of it with this record, but they were able to continue the magic and keep it rolling and write solid songs and put out things that are wholly Papa Roach and nothing else, which is, a tribute to what they've been able to do all these years and continue to be this massive band at this point.
Yeah, well said. I think to have staying power, I think Papa Roach and this album in particular, it kind of draws me to two pillars, which is authenticity and versatility. So like if he just was like a rap rock guy, this band would have burnt out a long time ago, all day.
100%.
But he can sing, he can write, obviously rap, and everything in between. Like especially the collabs that they're doing these days. Haven't they done collabs with like country music and
Barry
also-
Underwood.
Yeah, exactly. So
So
like
of H2O. Yeah.
so that versatility, like was on this record in retrospect. I didn't really think about it then, obviously, but listening to it now, I'm like, oh man, it's got everything you'd need to be able to span and be relevant in 2025. It's fucking crazy. And versatility, I mean, the band is tight. You know what I mean? The riffs are solid, bass is solid. It's a well-rounded group of music, and it's the full package. And I started thinking about it today because I feel like every time we do a deep dive on like a new metal band or a band from this era, I'm like, band's amazing, always has been, probably best in the game. But I actually think this record and this band is, I guess I'll say this record might be my favorite in the top 3 from this era. After listening to it today, especially, it's just like it just hits different. And I remember listening to this album so much. It was in my CD deck in my truck like nonstop. So I remember like the cadence of the songs, like everything flowing together. And back then it would just play over. Like once you got to the last record, it would just start over, kind of like a, I guess, tape cassette for anyone older than us. So yeah, I don't know why I came to those two kind of pillars, but versatility and authenticity. You know, if you have those two things, you can really make a career out of it. So I think they're worthy of that. And props to those guys. Super nice guys too. I hope we do get someone from the band on at some point.
I think you guys nailed it. I think for what this is, it's probably as good or up there as you're gonna get, right? So like if you were a fan of this record in this band and you like this style of music, it was great then and it's great now. If you were out on this style of music, you're probably still out to this day. But if you're a casual, go back and listen to it. Go back. It's way more than Last Resort. And I think there were a lot of casuals back then, and I'm hoping that as they are still relevant and there's like a new crop of fans, I hope that they're into more than just the singles, because this album rolls deep. But yeah, revisit. And I know we say that a lot, but like we pick these albums very intentional. We're not going to pick a dud. We're going to pick one that still holds up.
We have no duds in the back catalog. I love it.
And the other thing I thought about when I listened to this today is, and I do mean this, and it's accurate. I haven't listened to this album in 20 years, and I knew every word, every one of them. Yeah, because Infest is great, Love Hate Tragedy is great, and then after that, I was kind of not out for any like negative reason. It just kind of moved on for my own taste. But and Tony's not gonna like this, but Infest is better than Love Hate Tragedy.
You're wrong, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I love both records, and actually, this exercise is giving me a renewed love of Infest. Having, when I go to reach for a Papa Roach record, it's probably Love Hate Tragedy first, and then I really like the Paramore sessions. I don't know, that's
great record.
Yeah. Like there's some really great songs on that record, and I like Getting Away with Murder. I listen to that record a lot. Sans Scars. Like I don't need to hear Scars again. Although another massive song from them because they know how to write a song. So yeah, their legacy is wild. But yeah, I mean, it's 1A, 1B. Those two records are right at the top for me.
There is one thing I wish this band would do. I think, this is obviously just
come on the pod. I agree. Yeah.
No, well, that too. Is that geek moment of like, oh, this was like our band for so long, and I'm happy that they're successful. I'm happy they're playing sheds. They deserve it. Just like Deftones deserve it. Even though for whatever reason I thought Deftones was going to be playing theaters forever, with the exception of like the White Pony tour with our buddy Phil and Taproot and Incubus. I thought that was like a one-off arena run, but they've gotten back and forth. I guess they did Taste of Chaos too. I didn't think this band was going to blow up to this level, and I was always thinking like, you know what, like it's ours, this is our band, like it's going to always be kind of in our realm, and thinking that we may get lucky where this kind of band plays this record on a theater run front to back. That'll never happen, unfortunately. Like they've just reached new heights, and that's just not in the cards. I don't think. Maybe if it happens, it'd be a surprise. But that's how much like a band like this means to us. Coming up with the band is like it hits different because we can identify with the songs. Maybe not lyrically, but just like we were there for it, and that always hits different. Like we were there from like day one. Call it TRL, whatever. I mean, we were living in Southern Maine, so fucking
yeah, yeah. And I mean, even if we didn't identify necessarily with the lyrics, the music still made us feel something clearly, because we're still talking about it 25 years out, and that's there's a lot to that too, right? It's not necessarily always about lyrics, although I do get hung up there, especially with stuff that I grew up with.
Yeah,
less so sure. Nowadays, more music moves me than lyrics, although I still love lyrics. And if they're really good, they're really good. And there's, throughout this band's catalog, there's some really good lyrics. So, but yeah, I'm right there with you.
There, little fact check here, or a little little fact, not a fact check, but fact here is they're on LP 11. They put out their 11th LP in 2022.
Damn.
And then to really kind of underscore the snapshot of this album, they were nominated for Best New Artist in 2001.
And they've been around 8 years.
I know. Oh shit! I didn't realize that. Best New Artist on their major label debut, LP2.
Didn't that happen with Fun? Weren't they like a band for 12 years, but then they got Best New Artist?
Probably.
Oh man! All right. Well, this is always fun. Period. As we always like to say, with doing these deep dives, right? We love doing this. We love talking music, and I don't know. I have no more thoughts about this record other than I want to go spin it again because I love it.
The only thing I got to say is I got to listen to Legacy. That was it's kind of like a little treat. It's like you invested in a stock and then you realize it had dividends. Oh shit, I didn't know I had dividends. Let's go.
Capital gains, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, agreed there, dude. Listening to the record in prep for this was I don't think it's been 20 years, but it's definitely been a minute. And every time I think of this record, I think of being super fortunate that I went to see them on the touring cycle for this record, because like those tours didn't come to me. And I know they came for Off Fest, but on like a theater run as a headliner, it was like Boston or bust. Like we didn't get this stuff in Portland. But then we did get them on Love 8 Tragedy. So they did come to Portland and play as the headliner at the State Theater in 2003. Yeah, exactly. On the sophomore. But I remember thinking like at that show, it was like, okay, cool. This is what it's like to like get, to see them in like their come up. Kind of like if we go back to like the grunge, like seeing Pearl Jam like play a theater. That was how I felt in that room. And I remember the first and last time I ever stage dove and all that good stuff. So yeah, good times.
Two more things for the mic drop. 2 touring members of note. Wes Geer, touring member, 2006.
Wow.
And this must be Tobin's brother, Anthony Twan Esperance. Let's go.
Wow.
Mic drop. See ya.
Wow. No shit.
Oh, are we done? I thought Nate had another 3-minute monologue in him.
Hey.
I love you, buddy.
Stick for the Patreon.
Yeah. Pay me. All right.
Peace, nerds. Thank you for listening to Podioslave. We are at Podioslave on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the places that you can find us on social media. Facebook, Podioslave Podcast. YouTube, Podioslave Podcast there. Email us at podioslavepodcast@gmail.com. And hey, if you want to become a supporter, click on the link at the bottom of the episode and give us $1, give us $5. It keeps the lights on, keeps us going. We really appreciate that stuff. Thank you.